Hello and welcome to Dundee. It's a small city on the east coast of Scotland, where the River Tay meets the North Sea. The city has a long history of building boats, and the city's most famous ship is the RRS Discovery. In 1900, the British government wanted a boat that could explore the undiscovered continent of Antarctica. They built a boat with sails and steam engines that was so strong it could sail through large blocks of ice. On the 6th of August 1901, Discovery left the UK. After a 5-month journey via Cape Town and Lyttelton Harbour in New Zealand, the ship arrived on the coast of Antarctica on the 8th of January 1902. Some of Britain's most adventurous explorers, Captain Robert Falcon Scott and the third officer Ernest Shackleton, were on board. There were scientists too, who wanted to learn more about the area's plants and animals. When they arrived, this group of scientists, sailors and explorers made a camp. They built a large hut where they lived and worked. It was all going well, but while they were working, the Antarctic ice froze around Discovery. The ship didn't break, but the crew couldn't leave. They needed to wait for the ice to melt. While they were waiting, Scott and Shackleton left camp and tried to walk to the South Pole. They walked through storms and blizzards, but unfortunately they didn't reach the pole. But they survived, and when they returned to camp, 2 ships, Morning and Terra Nova, were there to help them. After 2 years in freezing conditions, the Discovery crew sailed home. On the 10th of September 1904, the ship arrived back in London. The crew quietly returned home, but soon the story of the expedition became famous, and Captain Scott became a national hero. Both Scott and Shackleton later returned to Antarctica. On one of Shackleton's expeditions, his ship, Endurance, sank. He and a small group spent 5 days in a lifeboat. Finally, they reached South Georgia, where they contacted the Navy to send help. And one of the boats that came to the rescue? The RRS Discovery. Discovery became a symbol of British heroism. For years, it was a popular tourist attraction in London. But in 1986, Discovery returned home to Dundee, where it is part of the city's history and culture.